The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
Good morning.
Dear, I'm afraid I feel like saying what's good about it.
I don't blame you. Boy, this kitchen is a real mess.
Well, the whole house is a mess. I'm beginning to wish we'd never decided to build a new house and move out of this one.
Well, we're going to like it as soon as we get settled.
2 months from now.
Yeah.
I bet it'd be at least 2 months before we really get settled in the new house. There's your orange juice, dear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hope the new house is ready by October 1st. We can't possibly sponge off the Smiths any longer than 2 weeks. Now, she said we could stay with them until the new house is ready, but you know how we'll feel doing it,
Yeah.
you know.
You know, I really think I should have taken a week's vacation now and helped you pack up. You know, it's too much of a job for one person.
Well, I'm doing it gradually, dear. I don't have to be out until the 15th. And I'd rather pack dishes and things like that myself, and then I'll know where things are when I unpack, you know.
Good morning.
Well, good morning, Betsy,
Good morning,
darling.
dear.
You wearing shorts to school?
School doesn't start until tomorrow, dear.
Oh, I thought it was
I
today.
don't want to go to school again either.
Oh.
Well, sure you do. Look, school's lots of fun. You enjoy these years. Believe me, they're the best years of your life.
I don't think so. I can't wait until I grow up.
Well, who was it said it's a shame to waste youth on the young? They don't appreciate it?
George Bernard Shaw, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I guess so.
Oh, there's the mailman already.
Oh, I'll
My
go
goodness.
get it. You know, it's about time my birth certificate arrived, isn't it? I sent for it 2 weeks ago.
Betsy, eat your breakfast now, darling, so Mommy can get through. I've got to bathe the baby and get at the packing again.
If I didn't go to school tomorrow, then I could stay home and help you with the packing, Mommy.
Well, that's very sweet of you, Mom. Mommy'd rather you went to school and learned a lot of interesting things. You should be glad you have a chance to get a good education.
Where are you going?
Well, I'm going to run down to the Beitners. Eleanor said she had 2 good boxes I could have, and she's going off the dentist, so I said I'd come down early. You eat your breakfast now. Tell Daddy the coffee is on the stove.
All right, Mommy.
For Pete's sakes! What? Look at this!
Your coffee's on the stove, Daddy.
Well, look, will you look at this? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Look at what?
My birth certificate. It just... Where's your mother?
She went down to the Biden's to get some boxes.
Well, go get her. Go get her. Tell her to get back home here at once.
You know, the surest way to learn about events in Great Britain is to ask someone who's right there on the scene. 2 of the best-informed men in Britain today are CBS newsmen Charles Collingwood and Alexander Kendrick. Their home base is London. From there, they follow every important news lead to get the facts you need. Charles Collingwood and Alexander Kendrick are 2 of the many top-flight CBS newsmen stationed abroad. Like their colleagues in Rome, Moscow, Paris, and Tokyo, they stand ready at all times to tell you what they've seen happening with their own eyes. Their reports come to you regularly on CBS Radio, as most of these same stations present the World News Roundup and The World Tonight. To keep in direct contact with events in London and every other major news center, hear the World News Roundup every morning and The World Tonight each night.
For Pete's sakes, where have you been?
Down at the Beitners getting some boxes.
Didn't Betsy come down there and tell you I wanted to see you right away?
Yes, well, she came down there and said you wanted to see me.
Well-
Oh, honestly, and now she stayed down there to play with Jackie, and she hasn't finished her breakfast. Oh, really? Betsy!
Look, never mind. Will you never mind? I told Betsy I wanted to see you at once.
Well, she did, dear, but you get so excited over everything. I didn't pay much attention.
Well, that's
Well, you
fine.
do,
well,
dear.
Look, I think I've got a right to get a little bit excited. Will you please pay attention? Look at this. Look. My birth certificate arrived. Look at it.
Well, for goodness sakes, what's it mean?
I don't know. I don't know what it means. I can't make any sense out of it at all. Look at the name that's listed there. A.Z. Percy Piper.
Well, obviously, it's not yours.
That's what I thought. But now look down here.
Where?
It's my birthday, June 28th. That's the year I was born.
Yeah.
Those are my parents, Maud and Chauncey Piper. It's the hospital I was born in. At least that's where Mother said I was born.
Well, isn't that funny?
You ought to know. Funny, I hardly think that's the word for it. It's just plain nutty. What does it mean?
Well, I don't know, dear. Well, it does say you were a boy.
Yeah, I think we know that.
Well, I just meant that perhaps... What's the name again?
Just 2 initials, A and Z, and then the name Percy.
Well, I can understand the A, but why was it just listed as an initial, and why the Z?
Why the Percy? My middle name's Preston.
Yes, of course they both begin with P. Maybe your middle name isn't Preston after all.
Oh, of course it's Preston. I was named after my father's mother, and the Prestons always made a big thing out of it.
Well, I wouldn't get all excited over it. Obviously, there's some mistake, dear. Probably just a typographical error.
Look, this is presumably my legal birth certificate.
Yes, I know, but maybe the clerk who registered it was a new girl or something, or temporary help, and got it wrong.
That is wrong for the love of Mike. Your birth certificate isn't something you want printed wrong.
Well, you don't want anything printed wrong, but sometimes it happens. There's always the human element when people are involved. The margin for error.
Well, by gosh, I think I'll call the Dodge County Courthouse and find out...
Be more sensible, I should think, to call your mother.
Yeah. Yeah, by golly, I will. I certainly will. I'll call her right now.
Phone?
Well, I haven't gotten anybody yet. Mother doesn't answer, so I called over to Aunt Effie's, and nobody answered there, so I'm calling Aunt Martha.
Long distance, you're going to have a nice bill.
I can't help it.
How do you think I should pack all the pictures?
I don't know. Boy, more I look at this A.Z. Percy Piper. My birth certificate, right?
I am sure it is just a typographical error,
Well, it
dear.
better be something like that. But don't you remember how funny Aunt Effie acted when I told her I was sending away for my birth certificate?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes. And your mother called last week, which was funny. Remember I told you about that?
Yes.
How surprised I was, because she never calls long distance unless it's terribly important.
No.
And she said Aunt Effie had told her you'd sent for the birth certificate, and she asked, had it arrived yet? And I said no, and she acted very funny. Remember
I know,
I told
you told me that.
Yes, I
now,
did.
Remember now another funny thing that happened. You know
What?
when we were... Wait a minute. Hello? Aunt Martha? Yeah, listen, is Mother over at your house? No. I'm calling long distance. Well, look, I have got to talk to her, Aunt. It is very important. Where do you think she is? No, nobody's sick. The point is, listen to me. Can you hear me? I got my birth certificate today, and... What? What do you mean, oh dear? What do you know about it?
Tell her what it says.
Look, Aunt Martha, I've got it right in front of me here.
Tell her what it says. Tell her
Yes,
again.
be quiet, will you? My name is listed A.Z. Percy Piper. A.Z. Percy Piper. I'd certainly like to know what in Sam Hill... Aunt Martha, wait a minute. Look, I can tell from the way you're acting you know something about... Hold on a minute. Oh, hello. Oh...
What did she say?
Well, I don't know. She got all fluttery and frantic and yelled something about applesauce.
Applesauce?
I mean, applesauce on the stove that was burning, and she'd find Mother right away and have her call me.
Well, isn't that strange? Now, look, when we drove over there last weekend, I
that's
remember...
what I started to tell you. Now,
Well-
Mother asked me then if my birth certificate had arrived, and I said no, and she looked so darn funny. She started to say something. Just then, Dad walked into the room, and she got all red and flustered and said, don't mention this to your father, and then we left before I could ask her what she meant by that.
Well, now, calm
funny.
down. Now, calm down.
Well,
calm down. I'm sure there is some logical explanation.
A.Z. Percy Piper. A.Z. Percy Piper. I mean, why would a baby be listed with just initials, anyhow?
Do you suppose you had a twin or something? You know, maybe died or...
It doesn't say twins. I'm just one. I mean, anyhow, even with twins, there'd be separate birth certificates, wouldn't there?
Yes, I suppose. Well, dear, it is late. You better get to work.
Get to work? How can I work? Something like this hanging over my head. I'm going to wait for Mother to call. Aunt Martha said she thought she was at Nina Jensen. She was just going to run over and tell her to call me back. I'm going to wait.
Let me see that. A.Z. Percy Piper. Now, why the initials, especially the Z?
Yeah, well, the Percy is what gets me. My middle name is Preston.
Darling, calm down. I'm still sure it's just some typographical error.
Can you have a typographical error on a birth certificate? That makes it legal. Apparently, this is how I'm registered. How do you go about changing something registered legally, even if it is a mistake?
Well, I don't know, but I'm sure it can be done now, dear.
Besides, with Mother and Aunt Effie and Aunt Martha all acting so demented about this, you can't tell me there isn't more to this than meets the eye. Now, there's something very,
How
very
come you
funny.
never sent for your birth certificate before and
Well,
found out that...
I don't know. Just never had any need for it. Have you got yours?
Well, no. I never had any reason for sending for mine either.
Well, if I hadn't had to get a passport, I wouldn't have sent for it now.
You think you will have to go to South America on business?
I don't know. It's the least of it right now.
Probably send you just as we're moving into the new house, and I'll have all that moving to do myself.
Yeah, I know. It's always a way.
Be kind of funny if your middle name really is Percy. Well, don't glare at me. For goodness sakes, can't you take a joke?
A joke?
Well, if it is and you don't really care about the name, you can always use Just the middle initial, which is about all you do anyhow,
Look,
dear.
it doesn't seem to penetrate your mind that apparently all I've got legally right now are 2 first initials and the name Percy.
Look, I'm sure there's some good explanation.
Well, by golly, my mother better have a good one. And if she doesn't call back, I'm going to take the day off and drive over there.
Why don't you come out and finish your breakfast
Get
anyhow?
to the bottom of this. Breakfast, I couldn't eat a thing. I just don't understand this. I feel as though this was some kind of a nightmare or
No,
something.
I'll get you a cup of coffee, dear. I'm sure your mother will call in a few minutes. Now try to calm down.
Suddenly I find that legally I'm a different person and she tells me to calm down.
Well-
For Pete's sakes, can't you see? Who am I? What is this all about?
Oh, there's your call. Oh, Betsy, tell Daddy to come here.
Daddy!
Hello? Yes? Oh, he's been waiting for you to call.
Is that Mother? Is that my mother?
Yes, he's right here. Here
Let
he
me
is.
have it,
Here,
let me
here,
have
here. She sounds very upset.
Give me the... She's upset. What about me for... Hello? Hello, Mother? Yes? Mother, look, did Aunt Martha tell you I got my birth... That's... Well, look, the name that's listed is A.Z. Percy Piper. Now, just who in Sam Hill is it? Huh? No, I didn't call Dad at the store. Anyhow, why shouldn't I tell him?
What's the matter with Daddy, Mommy?
Huh?
Darling, why don't you go outside and play, dear?
Well, why can't you explain it over the phone? Huh? Mother, listen, will you calm down, please? Will you just calm down? Well, I'm a little bit upset myself. Look, Mother, now I'm sorry, but either explain it to me or I'm going to drive over there today and... Well, why? What has Dad got to do with it? Oh, all right, Mother. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but all right. All right, well, now calm down and just tell me one thing. Mother, is it correct? Is that the way I was registered legally?
Is it? Dear?
All right, Mother. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Goodbye.
Didn't she want to talk over the phone?
No.
She catching the bus over here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, she must have said something. I mean, is it correct? Are you...
She wouldn't even say. And I'm not to say a word of this to my dad or any of the relatives on his side of the family until she explains.
Why do you suppose?
I don't know. But I suspect because I wasn't named Preston after his mother.
And then your middle name is probably...
Percy.
What's the matter with Daddy?
Nothing, dear. Daddy's had kind of a shock, you might say. Now, you run outside and play, and just think your grandma's coming to visit tomorrow.
Oh, goody.
Yes. Now, you go on outside and play. Run along, Betsy. Go on, dear. Go on, darling. Now, honey, don't even think any more about it until your mother comes tomorrow.
A.Z. Percy Piper. Percy.
Interested in the stock market? Well, you should be. When commodity prices go up, you pay more for groceries. When steel goes down, unemployment figures may go up. Every day, veteran CBS News reporters Walter Cronkite and Bill Downs give you the facts and figures in the business news over CBS Radio. They explain in simple terms the significance each business trend has for you. You can profit by keeping informed through business news, heard 7 days a week over most of these same CBS radio stations. The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce with Francie Myers and is produced by Walter Hart. This is Stuart Metz, inviting you to join us again tomorrow for The Couple Next Door.